Chapter 25. Hours later, no one has come. Abandoning hope, I curl up and think of Elena and the little pharaoh. I miss them so much. And the high priest, too. Where is he? I wish he could help me. I also think of Tutmos. I blame him for my predicament. If he weren't a bastard, Nefertiti wouldn't have concocted her scheme, and Tia wouldn't have come here to tell the girls. And if she hadn't come, neither would I. If I survive this, I promise you, Tutmos, you'll never see that eye again. The lid is lifted. I try to stand up, but become entangled in clothing. I can't see because there's a garment over my head. A ghost! A woman cries at the top of her lungs. I bolt out of the chest, taking some of the clothing with me. I couldn't run faster if death were after me. I free myself of the garment covering my head. It's nightfall. The sky is already swept with stars. I reach the sunken garden where I peed earlier. The plank of wood is still there. I climb up the plank and find myself on a roof. I see the roofs of other structures in the great palace and the wall enclosing them. And, looking down, the royal road. Heading north walks a lone figure. The distinctive Nubian wig and the long woolen peasant's cloak leave no doubt it's Nefertiti. She's walking in the direction of the great temple. Is that her destination? Keeping her in sight, I walk along the edge of the roof till I reach a gap separating it from the roof of the next building. The gap is too wide for me to leap over, but I easily jump over to the top of the outer wall of the great palace. Walking along it, I continue to follow Nefertiti till she reaches the great temple. It's on the opposite side of the royal road, and I lose sight of her when she enters the gateway. I want to get down from the wall, cross the royal road, and enter the gateway myself. But the wall is too high for me to reach the ground safely. I have to see where Nefertiti is going. I continue walking till I reach the north wall of the great palace. In the middle of the wall, I see the twin towers and the flagpoles of a pylon. If I could climb up a flagpole, I might be able to look down into the great temple and spot Nefertiti. But I have to climb to the top of the tower to reach the flagpole. I walk along the wall to the tower and look up. It's quite a climb. Fortunately, the stone is pitted with small holes. It's tough going, but I manage to pull myself up the tower by catching my claws in them. I jump onto the flagpole, dig my claws into the precious cedar wood, and climb to the top. I was right. From this height, I can look down into the great temple. It's a vast walled enclosure containing a roofless long temple in the front, and in the back, a separate walled yard with a sanctuary. Inside the long temple, and along the outside of its south wall, are hundreds of small brick altars to hold offerings to the god Aten. 100 or so more are in the sanctuary. On some of the altars, the offerings remain. I see flowers and burning incense, but the food offerings have been removed to be eaten by the priests. The yelps of jackals break the silence. I look up toward the hills above the city, but the jackals are too far away to be seen. I hear another sound. This one is pleasant and soothing. It's the sound of the flowing Nile. I look down at the river. The reflection of stars on its surface makes it seem a piece of fallen sky. Egypt, forever casting spells on men and cats alike. But I must not forget about Nefertiti. Returning my gaze to the long temple, I see her pass the small brick altars outside the long temple and disappear behind it. She reappears on the pathway that runs in a straight line from the rear of the temple to the sanctuary. Of course she's headed for the sanctuary. Nefertiti enters the gate to the walled yard surrounding the sanctuary and walks toward the pylon dividing it into 2 courts. She crosses the first court, but when she reaches the pylon, she falters, stops, and leans against the wall of the right tower. Is she ill or just resting? She brings her right arm up against the wall and rests her head against it. In her right hand is a long, shiny object. Abruptly, she moves away from the wall, goes through the pylon into the second court, and follows the pathway to its end. She's in front of a stepped platform where the high altar rests. Fearing the worst, I race down the flagpole, cut diagonally across the field fronting both the great palace and the great temple, and cross the royal road. "Never seen a cat so fat run so fast," says a guard as I pass through the pylon of the great temple. "Is death chasing him?" If I'm right, I'm chasing death. I stop once to catch my breath, midway between the long temple and the sanctuary. I resume running and don't stop again till I've climbed the steps to the high altar, where Nefertiti is now standing. Her head is tilted back. Her right hand is above her chest and holds a dagger. She must hear me panting loudly, but she doesn't look at me. Her eyes are on the sky. Her lips are moving as if she were talking, but there's no sound. She's in a trance, like a somnambulist. I stand upright, intending to reach for the dagger. Suddenly, I start to cough the way I do when I'm about to vomit a furball. Nefertiti's right hand is slowly bringing the dagger down to her chest, but I'm gagging and can do nothing. The dagger is but inches from her chest when I feel the furball coming up, cough violently, and spit it out. It hits the blade of the dagger, and I hear the sound of metal striking metal. A shiny object falls at Nefertiti's feet. For the love of the gods, it's the ring she gave my master. Me, in exchange for singing for her in the royal tomb. I'd forgotten all about it. I must have swallowed it when I was asleep. Nefertiti drops the knife. As she starts to look around, I get down from the platform and hide behind one of the small altars on either side of it. From here, I can still see her, and she seems frightened. She looks down, sees the ring and the dagger, and stares at them, puzzled. "Where are you?" she asks, looking around. "You have not told me your name." "My name is Pollione," I say, using the name of the Roman proconsul who betrayed Norma. Concealing my identity from Nefertiti is a form of betrayal. "Pollione," she says. "What a strange but wonderful name. Is it Italian like the song you sang to me last night?" "Yes." "Pollione, how is it I am here?" "You were sleepwalking." "And the dagger?" "Sit, and I'll tell you." Nefertiti sits on the platform, her knees to her chest, her arms wrapped around her legs. When I describe what I've seen, she shivers. "It is the end. The end," she whispers. "The end of what?" "Of a dream." I'm about to ask her what she means when she continues. "Oh, Aten, so much has been sacrificed in your name. The old temples were closed. We told our people to abjure all other gods. We did not ask them. We told them. We erased the names of the other gods from ancient stone in a futile attempt to erase their memory from our people's hearts. But the people remember. They remember and mourn. Silence and fear pervade our land. Many honor the old gods in secrecy, fearful of their neighbors reporting them." She pauses, sighing. I wish I could go to her and try to comfort her. "And now I reap the rotten fruit of that tyranny. Akhenaten's love for me has turned to hatred. My daughters, the ones death spared, are lost to me. He would not even let me visit my dear Makataten's tomb, because she was the one who never faltered in her love for me. I took to going there in disguise, but he found out. Yesterday, he decreed her burial chamber be sealed. Last night was the last time I could be with my daughter. Such is his hatred for me." "Hatred? But just yesterday I saw you and the king riding together in your chariot." "It was only for the sake of appearances, my dear Pollione." "But why does he hate you?" "I try to make him see what we have done to our people." "You are co-regent. Can't you help Egypt yourself?" "I do what I can. But I must be careful. The country is riddled with Akhenaten's spies. I am not afraid for my life. Indeed, as you have just witnessed, I want to end it. But I fear his revenge on those I try to help." "How sad." Nefertiti raises her right hand and points to the sky. "I have but one wish," she says, "to join the indestructibles." The stars that never fall below the horizon, for the ancient Egyptians a symbol of immortality. Poor Nefertiti, she will have immortality, but not the kind she seeks. But with you gone, Egypt would lose its only hope. "Oh, Pollione, what you say is true. During the day I am able to keep despair at bay, but at night my heart controls me. I have human powers, but I can't offer her a human embrace. Oh, my accursed feline body." "I am tired, Pollione," Nefertiti says, lying down on the altar. "Will you sing what you sang for me last night?" With the little strength I have left after the run, I again sing Pollione's response to Norma in the sad aria, Qual cor tradisti. By the time I finish, She's asleep. I leave my hiding place and approach her. She lies on her back, her left shoulder exposed, and I pull on her robe to cover it. She sighs. I lie at her feet, like the dog on a medieval knight's tomb. I leave her side and go back into hiding when I feel sleep is about to overcome me. I dream of Nefertiti. We stand facing each other. I'm as tall as she is, if not taller. I hear faint notes of music, and as the music becomes louder, I recognize a Viennese waltz. I place my right paw on Nefertiti's back, and she places her left hand on my right shoulder. I take her right hand in my paw, move it to the height of her shoulder, and we begin to waltz. We turn faster and faster. First, we're dancing inside Stonehenge, then on the pavement in front of the Royal Crescent. When we reach the entrance to her home, she's pulled away from me by an invisible force. The door behind her opens. She stretches her arms towards me, but I'm frozen in place, and she recedes into the vestibule. "Don't go!" I cry out. "Don't leave me!" The door slams closed. I feel the same despair I felt in the dream when I awake to discover that Nefertiti is gone. She's taken the dagger and the gold ring with her. I shake my head and hope I'm still dreaming. No such luck. I'm fully awake and desperately alone. It's just before dawn, and I hear the chanting of the priests welcoming the Aten to his new day. I make my way back to the king's house, hoping Nefertiti will be there. With great trepidation, I enter her bedchamber. I can barely contain my joy when I see her lying in her bed fast asleep. Stealthily, I crawl into her bed, curl up by her side, then lick her hand. The one I held in my paws, we danced. On her small finger, she wears the gold ring. "Tia could not find you, Tati," she says, awakening. "I was afraid you were lost. If you only knew what that girl Heket did to me. Last night, I spoke with your master, Polione. He has breathed new life into me. And you, my queen, have breathed new life into me."